When we have defined the use cases, now it is a good time to consider the requirements we have. And also for that, we have a diagram in SysML, the requirements diagram, and why not model the requirements there? Let's do this. We select our requirements package here, right-click, add diagram, make sure again that SysML is selected here. You see it here, select diagram here, and we give the diagram a name. In that case, we name it System Requirements. Press Enter, and the diagram is created. Now here again, we can do the same principle as before. We can right-click, add element, make sure we have selected here the requirements, check that the right type is selected, in that case requirement, and we can enter here the requirement. That's possible. The other way around, which works better for the requirement diagram in my personal opinion, just select here requirement, press summary in the diagram, and we have the requirement. We name our first requirement RC car requirement specification. So this is not really a requirement, it is more an element which holds together all our requirements. But anyway, let's formulate it in a way that it can be a requirement. And here, just via double click on it or right click properties. But let's do it here with double click. The properties window is opened. Here we can define a general description, or we see here in the SysML category here, we can give it an ID, 1, and we can insert here a requirements text. You have to click on these three dots here, and then you can insert the requirement. And this is a very general requirement, so this may not really a requirement, but anyway, let's formulate it. The RC car shall be able to be controlled by human for fun. So this is in principle our overall target formulated as requirement we have to achieve. Fine. Now, as you now realize, we have inserted text, but we do not really see it here. We can change this. For example, when we just want to change it for a simple block, right click and here compartment visibility. And let's check here that the requirements and the text, especially the text here, are selected. But let's do it here because we create more requirements and we want to see the text for all of them. Let's do it for the complete diagram. So make sure nothing is selected here in the diagram. So to do so, just click somewhere in the diagram. And then here on the right, under the properties window, compartments. You can also do this here with properties. It is the same. It's not the same. Yeah, anyway, you see it here with compartments. And make sure here the text is selected. The texts are selected. And now you see here also the ID we have allocated to the requirement and the text we have formulated. Fine. Sometimes you see also here the compartments, but often it is presented here. Okay, anyway, let's create some further requirements. Again, we select the requirements here, click somewhere on the diagram, give the requirement a name, car speed. Double click on it, go to the SysML tag here, give it an ID, in that case 1.1, and we give the requirement a text. The RC car shall have different speed levels. Okay, and we have created our second requirement. Now We have formulated here different speed requirements, that the system should have different speed levels. Not a good requirement, but a necessary requirement. And now let's specify it. We create another requirement. We name it high speed. Enter. Double click. We go to this SysML. Give it another ID. In that case, 1.1.1. Enter a text. The maximum speed shall be 10 kilometers per hour. Fine. Now we speak here from different speed levels. So let's create another speed level. We name it mid speed. Double click. Go to the SysML tag in ID 1.1.2. Click on the three dots here to insert the text. The mid speed shall be 5 kilometers per hour. Press OK. And another one. Low speed. Enter. Double click. Go to the SysML category 1.1.3 and a text. We will formulate the low speed shall be 2 kilometers per hour. Okay. And we have created it. Now let's bring everything to better shape. Maybe this will work. Let's try it. Select all of them. We use this icon here. And now we have it the same size. Let's distribute them and align. Move this to the middle here. Nice. And now we have to connect all of them. We know that these requirements are more detailed to this. So this requirement here refines this requirement, same this one, and the same for this one. And we know that this requirement is derived from this requirement. So we select here the derived from requirement, just for example. Now let's create some further requirements. And we name it Bluetooth control, which means it is not really an RC car, it is a Bluetooth controlled car, because RC stands for radio controlled, with the radio frequency. Anyway, now it is Bluetooth controlled, and we create here another requirement. We name Bluetooth class, enter, double click on the Bluetooth class, go to the SysML tag, we insert up here the ID. This is 1.2.1. We have to specify also now the other requirements too, but let's do this first, 1.2.1. And the Bluetooth connection shall have at least Bluetooth class 2. Okay. Now let's double click on this requirement here, the Bluetooth control. Go to the SysML tab. This is in that case 1.2. And we insert also here a text. The RC car shall be controlled via Bluetooth connection. Okay. Now let's fix here the typo. Go to the other requirement, Bluetooth class, to the SysML tag, to the MIMO, and we make this upper level letter, uppercase letter. So, okay. Now we have created this requirement, and let's connect also those requirements. But before, let's ensure that we have the same size. Now we know that this is a part or a sub-level requirement of this requirement here. Let's do this from here to here, and this is in that case the nesting. This is, by the way, this containment here. Okay. And we also connect this to our requirement holder, also here with this arrow, and it is a derived from requirement. Fine. Now let's create 3 further requirements. It's not the test case, so we delete this for the moment. Now it is deleted from the diagram, but we see that is anyway here in our model browser. Let's delete it also from here. Right click, delete, and confirm. And now it is deleted. Okay, requirement. We name this requirement steering. Double click, SysML tab 1.3. And as text, we insert the car shall have a steering system. Very important requirement, because there are SE cars that which can just drive forward and backwards. We also want to drive or to make some curves. Okay, let's create here 2 sub-requirements. The steering control. Let's move this a little bit left here. Yeah, nice. Double click, SysML tab 1.3.1, and the text will be the steering control should, so not a must, it's just should be realized with a servo motor. Maybe we will find a better one, but first it's a servo motor. And another requirement, a little bit to the right, everything. Double click, we can also insert the name here. Steering connectivity. Go to the SysML tab. This is 1.3.2. And the name is the steering system shall be controlled by human via Bluetooth connection. Fine. Okay. Now let's bring everything to the same size. Select them, run reference element, press this icon here. Okay, now let's connect this. This is also a nesting, so between here and here. Now let's do this here with this arrow. And nesting. Let's do another one here with this from here to here. And you see it is the same result. Okay, now let's change the line style and bring everything into order or into better form. This is here. Here's a link missing. Let's also do this from here to here. And this is derived from. Okay, now let's check the line style. Let's change the line style. This is always the wrong one. This is the vertically. Just click somewhere in the diagram. Now this is fixed. Apply it for all. Nice. And also for this one here. Line style, vertically. And also right click, apply it for the other ones. Fine. Now let's bring it to the better positioning. And this looks fine. Save it. And this is the requirements diagram. We see here that we have used let's fix this here. This is not fine. Let's change this to direct. Nice. Now that's the requirement diagram, a small one, but we see everything here. We have a high-level requirement. We derived 3 more detailed requirements, and we specified them. And this is now a good starting point, or a good initial thing, which we can use as base for our now coming system development. Depending on the size of the model and the number of requirements, those diagrams are sometimes a little bit difficult to read. You can in this tool switch to a list representation. We have just go to Design, View, and here select List View. Let's save it, yes, and then we see the requirements here represented as a list. This is also an option, which is sometimes super helpful. Okay, let's go back to the graphical representation. And this is our requirements diagram